Hello, this is session 3. In case you're wondering, the previous session was unfortunately eaten by Jitsi, so that's why we're skipping to session 3. This is Hit the Streets, Defend the Block. It's a RPG about street-level supers fighting crime and corruption in their neighborhood. It's been designed by Rich Rogers, using mechanics based on the 1%er Outlaw Motorcycle Game by Creepy Doll Studios. And this game is being run as part of the Gauntlet Hangouts. The Gauntlet being an online role-playing community with members from across the world. You can find out more about them on their website at gauntlet-rpg.com. They've got forums. We have great discussions about game mechanics, game design, and just gaming in general. They have a podcast network. They have Codex, their monthly e-zine, which features mini rule sets and set game hacks and setting materials, all sorts of cool stuff for role-playing games. And then, of course, there is the Gauntlet Hangouts, which this game was organized over. So you can check that out at the website. Let's move on and introduce our players, starting with myself. I'm Rob. I use he, him pronouns, and I've been with the Gauntlet now for, I think, 3 or 4 years. Yeah, so it's been a while. Alan, you go next.
I'm Alan R, also in the UK. I use he, him. I've been playing with the Gauntlet since last October, so Gauntlet Con will be my 1-year birthday with the Gauntlet. And I've been running games with them since the spring.
Stephen?
Hey there, I'm Steven, he, him. I've been playing with the Gauntlet for a few months now, which is why people still comment with surprise when they see me. I think you missed that, but yeah.
And last but not least, Leandro.
Hi, yeah, my name's Leandro, use he, him pronouns. Been in the Gauntlet for a year since this July. Been running games since December, and yeah, I'm enjoying myself. No, I should be more enthusiastic about that. Yeah, it's been a very fun ride so far.
All right, great. Now, before we get into the game, we're gonna need to go over some safety tools because Hit the Streets, Defend the Block is based on shows such as the Marvel Netflix series, which can get a bit dark some of the time, most of the time. Okay. So we need to have some safety tools in place to make sure that everybody is comfortable with what's going on in the game, that we don't tread into any territory that causes any problems for anybody. So first of the tools that we're using is lines and veils. We've got a list of themes, subject matter that players might not want to deal with in the game. Lines being elements which will not happen in the game at all, and veils being things which might be implied, they might happen off screen, but they won't be explicitly shown. Next, if something comes up during play, we also have the X card. So if something comes up that makes anyone uncomfortable in any way, they can veto that content by either signaling X with their arms or calling X card out loud. And then we'll pause the scene there. I might ask what content is being vetoed if it's unclear, but I won't ask why it's being X carded. We'll just rewind the scene a bit, and start over with the content removed. And finally, we have an open door policy, which means if for any reason people need to step away, there's an emergency, not feeling well, or they just need a break, they can let us know and we'll accommodate them. So with all that out of the way, let us introduce our characters. Starting again, actually, let's do the snake. So we'll start with Leandro, and I'll ask everybody but Leandro to say what they did what something interesting they did last week. Leandro, what were you doing? What was your character doing that meant they couldn't join the crew last week?
Yeah, so my character is named Morgan Mackenzie, but her super name is Controller. She moonlights as a graphics illustrator by day, but well, not night, but other parts of the day, she is a superhero. She used to be, back in the day, like decades ago, specifically 2 decades ago, she was this like gadgetry whiz kid tech superhero by the name of Motherboard, but a unfortunate entanglement with a techno-organic virus put her out of commission for decades. Also, marital problems and whatnot. Basically, and having to deal with this techno-organic virus, basically reforming her physiology, put her away for decades. She was kind of like semi-content to come into retirement, but coming together with this group, the Golden. Okay, so since we had a session, we got a name apparently. Okay, cool. The Golden Oldies is kind of like brought her back, and stuff like her daughter becoming a superhero with this corporate team that's Storm Pack is also kind of like brought her out of retirement, but she's a bit of a different hero now than back then. So she can modify her body and whatnot. That's why she looks quite a bit younger than everyone else, because she can do that, and has like super perceptive senses. Again, thanks to the virus. But the virus comes with prices, with some caveats, and I think this is kind of why she wasn't here last session, because she handled that from the first session, that doohickey that was kind of like magic technology nonsense. And I think handling it kind of like made the techno-organic virus kind of go not feral, but like kind of went into like overprotective mode, and she's had to spend a few days kind of like developing like a software patch for herself to be like, all right, no, just gonna inoculate myself. Also, she got invited to dinner with her daughter. That's a different thing entirely. That's not why she's anxiously kept herself at home. No, it's the virus and the doohickey. No, it's not because she has to meet with her daughter. So, nope. She just needed to take care of herself. No, nothing to do with her daughter at all. Nope, nothing at all.
All right. Well, we'll get back to some questions about you and your daughter in a little bit, but let's move on to Stephen now.
Yeah, I'm playing Aemilia Price, the retired Pulp Fiction character. Retired from Pulp Fiction, not the kind of character you would find in Pulp Fiction. Yeah, and what we got up what we got up to last session was I attempted to defeat a ghost. I got in some good lines, at least. But ultimately it was forgetting the name of. I don't have it open. Granny Goodness, who ultimately punched him out, because in the end, ghosts are not like fist beats ghost. And we failed at our Ghostbusters reenactment after that. It just ended up kind of awkwardly dangling him over a cardboard box with some lightning bolts drawn on it. So yeah. See, this is what you missed, Leandra. This is what you missed.
And Alan, tell us about Marcus and what he got up to last week.
Okay, I'm playing Marcus, the Faceman Miller. Marcus used to be, in his youth, a bit of a local con man, convincing small businesses to keep him in pizza and motor cars. And he just thought he was a good talker and believable. But then he had a close encounter with a dangerous mob boss and was rescued from it by a mature super with psychic powers who managed to convince Marcus that actually he does have a remarkable special power. So he is a phenomenal talker, and he has a very winning smile. And that's supported by a very acute perception of behavior and mood cues that allows him to target that incredibly convincing winning smile where it's needed. And that's what he spent most of the last time doing. He conned his way into the local factory, the Lightning Co's bottling plant. And he believes he now has permission to organize a day out for the people in the retirement home where he used to work and is now a volunteer. And what else did he? Oh yes, and then in order to buy time for Aemilia to try to turn a shoebox into a ghost trap with appropriate sigils and runes, he took two members of the Stormfront who'd arrived with a ghostometer, saying there is evil here, by convincing them first of all that he'd heard noises in the attic of the house next to Granny Goodness's, and then when that began to run a bit thin, pretending possession himself, with absolute conviction, to the point where they thought, I think, that he was possessed. And I think there's a small page 2 headline in the newspaper that says local character in possession scandal. So that's what he spent his time doing last time, and a good time was had by all.
You also got exercised.
Yes, that's right. Yes.
So just to clarify, the house that was being haunted was actually the Zhong's house. They are regular customers of Grandmother Superior, and they were on the point of moving away because of the goings on that were plaguing their house, and Grandmother Superior decided, no, not having that, and that's why you all went ghost busting. The
thing I can't remember, there were certainly ghosts, and there was certainly someone who we tried to put in but I can't remember the exact nature of that person. Was he just a top ghost, or was he the conjurer of ghosts? Did we ever work out that? Because I've lost it.
I assume that he was a conjurer because he seemed to be hired by someone, I thought.
Yeah. Well, he specifically said that he had been summoned by somebody.
Okay, so he might be a top ghost.
Right. Yeah, I'd forgotten that as well. I don't think we didn't ask the question about summoned by bells or summoned by phone.
But you do know that he is not a ghost. He is a physical being because Grandmother Superior punched him out, and you were able to carry him out of the house, and afterwards did what with him? Because that's where I'd like to pick up.
Oh, let's see. Grandmother's superior's in here, so we probably shouldn't just dump him off in like the back room of her restaurant. We can dump him off in the storage room of the bookstore Aemilia works at.
Okay.
Sounds like the good plan. I don't like my boss right now anyway, so hopefully something will happen to him as a result.
Yeah, we forgot to say that Aemilia kind of stood up to her boss and decided to do things that not to do things that that he wanted her to do. I would quite like a conversation with the conjurer, because I've not had much of a conversation with the conjurer, and I think he might be susceptible to a winning smile.
Mm. Okay. So, is anyone giving Morgan a call, or?
Oh yeah, I think so. Meet at the bookshop.
All right. So we'll cut to.
I think also Morgan gets a text message from Aemilia that says, "Morgan, if you would please, comma, and then do line break. If you would please meet us at the bookshop, comma, Aemilia Price. Regards, Aemilia Price."
You get an all caps response. Okay.
Right. So I want to ask, like, what is Morgan's normal day sort of activity? You know, that she would be up to about. I think you guys decided to go and go do that during the day. So yeah, you decided to go do that during the day. So it's still about, say, late afternoonish.
Yeah, so I think Morgan should be working. She works as a kind of like a freelance graphics illustrator, but instead she's been watching. For some reason, I'm imagining this Storm Pack because they have, their corporate sponsor and whatnot. They probably have their own YouTube channel. So each of their members has like a Meet Prospero or Meet Nimbus or something like that. And today was and she's been, I think she got the call just as she was about to watch. She's putting off work. She's about to watch the Meet upgrade one, and then she gets the text from the other Golden Oldies. It's just, okay, well, I don't have to watch this, and there's business to be done.
All right. So
sorry, give me a sec. Oh wait, nope. Sorry, I just heard a bell downstairs. Oh, someone else is getting that. Never mind. Sorry. I thought I had to get that, but there's another person downstairs. Sorry about that.
All right. So yeah, you get the text and you head over to Amelia's workplace, I guess.
Yeah, the bookstore.
The bookstore.
I know where that is. Yeah.
What is the name of the bookstore? Because we're just calling it the bookstore. I believe it was like some sort of small chain sort of bookstore, like, you know. Okay. Shall I come up with something then?
Steven, you're muted.
Oh, New Horizons?
Sure. So yeah, you come to New Horizons. I assume your boss is not around at the moment.
Oh yeah, I just kind of shout out, doing an inventory check. Nothing to see here.
Okay. So you let people in round the back door, I guess. No, I'm not going to make a roll for anything right now. But yeah, so you come around the back of the New Horizons. gently tapping the door, and you're let in.
So who is this not ghost? Like, out of character, I'm just asking, like, who is this? What is it? What do I see? Kind of like when I come in.
So you see, I still have my notes from last session. Yeah, so you see this guy. He's got a sort of parted, dark hair, and he's in a sort of suit. It's like let me just see. Yeah, so he's in a suit. It's like black. It's a black, and he's got a black and white waistcoat on, and a white tie, and his skin is kind of pale.
Is he one of those, I don't forget what you call them, those gothics?
Borga just gives me a look. Yes, maybe. Look, I don't know. You
So
dealt with him.
I'll say controller. Give me a head roll. Sort of memory sort of roll here.
Ooh, all right. Because I feel bad that I have 10 spark, and and everyone is down to. Oh my god! Oh, that's. Oh. All right. So what mode am I being super? Because if I'm going through my memories of dealing with the Gothics. I'll pay 2 spark. So I'm rolling 8 dice.
I'm gonna say your difficulty here is not gonna be high. It's free.
Cool. All right. So I'm paying 2 spark. Why not? Why not? And submit. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Wow, I just got 3. Just 3.
Okay.
That's actually amazing.
So you do remember because you do watch the Lightning Storm Pack YouTube stuff. They just announced this today. It's the new comic issue. It was an ad. You couldn't skip it for some reason. You couldn't skip it for like 15 seconds. And there was a picture of the new villain that they were revealing in the next issue, and it is this guy.
Ooh. I think kind of like realizing that the controller kind of like peers at the guy. Is the guy sitting on something, or he's just lying on the floor unconscious?
I feel like he's just lying on the floor, and I don't think you guys gave him a chair or anything.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you have to tie him to a chair.
Okay.
You have to tie him to something.
Oh man, I was gonna poke him in the face with my foot, but
I mean, we could have handcuffed him to a pipe. We could have done that.
Look, either way, I'm gonna poke him with my foot.
Well, if you're going to say either way, I think he is tied to a chair in that case, just so we have the image of like you.
Yeah, hands in my pockets.
I think he's still kind of like out of it, so you're like, ugh, ugh.
Yeah. How real is this guy? Keeps poking him in the face.
I mean, Granny Superior was able to punch him in the face, so fairly real.
Okay. Is he as real as you? Poke.
I mean, if you wanted to poke me in the face, I suppose you can check.
I think I give you a look as if like I'm considering it.
I like to think that I at least dress a bit better. So there's that.
True. Anyway, did he offer up a name or an agenda?
No, he just laughed rather tiredly. He just laughed a lot.
Of course.
What does the comic call him?
The comic calls him Ghost Heart.
Why don't we try to see if he responds to that name?
All right. And I think Morgan suits up, so to speak, and by that, like her skin turns all silvery and metallic, except for her hair. It just stays like that, and says, "Yo, Ghost Heart."
He sort of cracks one eye open. You've heard of me then?
Yeah, we've heard of you. Not very good things, though.
Well, they would be, would they?
No. Oh, sorry, you misunderstood. I meant like quality-wise, not very good things.
I do what I do. I am supposed to police the spirit world, but my talents have been appropriated incorrectly.
Now, son, what do you mean by that? When you say appropriated by who?
I think you're going to have to roll to get more out of him.
So, I'm using jaw to convince then, yeah?
Yep.
And I'm doing this, this is just normal man-to-man. Yeah? So, just, I keep forgetting this, but I am using my con artist team roll. I am using normal, and I am using jaw. So that's 10 dice, unless you tell me not. So I'll use the bottom 10 white dice. There we go. And reroll selected. Oh dear, that's 3. But there are 3 ones in there for what it's worth. But I don't think we were in tension.
I don't think tension is in effect because he's tied up and he's not offering any resistance right now. So
it's just occurred to me. I never quite certain. No, so I'm being normal, so I can't use the perception, empathy, behavior, and mood cues, can I?
I mean, those are your super abilities.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
So yeah, if you're not being super, then yeah, you probably wouldn't use those. I found myself in a room, a very boring room. There was a bright light shone in my face, and a woman with a mask, not that I would have been able to tell much features beyond that. She was sitting across from me on the other side of the table. And she told me to drive people out of their homes in Leverdale Drive.
So, what made you do it, son?
She had some ability to compel my obedience.
Can you give us like who this woman is, what she looks like? Bit of inkling there.
No.
Even what the mask was like?
Have you mentioned the fact that this is that he is from the new issue to the rest of us?
No, I don't think I've
Okay.
said it out loud. And but I think I'll say it here. I think like, yeah, can you give us like an inkling or anything? He's just you, Ghost Heart. Well, I don't know if you know this, but you're showing up in a comic book quite soon.
Is it that dreadful group? What are they called?
Storm Pack.
Oh yes,
Drizzle Brigade.
Give somebody a look. What?
yes. I had to chase them out of the other side a few weeks ago.
What do you mean by the other side, son?
Well, you know,
You don't mean the other side of town, do you?
well, no. The realm of the dead. They were kicking up some fuss. I had to lay down the law.
Oh, they were kicking up some fuss.
Well, them and the unruly specters they were dealing with. But they had no place dealing with such things. That was my terrain.
Well, it doesn't look like they're going to make you out to look good in this comic book of theirs. Don't know if you care about that sort of thing.
I think I'd just kind of take Morgan, controller, around the shoulder and just, what's the story about? Does it jive with what he's saying about his encounter with Stormpack, or is it to do with what we've caught him doing?
Well, it's not out yet. That's the thing. It's like a trailer. It's like they're showing off, oh, here's Ghost Heart or something. But
right. Sorry, I didn't notice that.
Nah, but it doesn't look as anything to do with what y'all were doing with him.
Take Aemilia to one side. Aemilia, does your bookshop get early releases? Put them in the back office till next week when they come out, so the pre-publicity, and then you just launch the comic book. Just asking.
Oh, I can certainly check, and I guess I open up whatever boxes we have back here.
Yep. You open up a box, and there's a comic that has it's a really cheesy sort of tag that says the Storm Pack find themselves on the wrong side of Ghost Heart.
Amazing.
So if we flick this, if we give him a chance to, because he's tied to a radiator now, isn't he? But he could still read a comic book. So we could ask him whether it does this look at all familiar?
Well, that's more or less what happened. And I think the woman, when I woke up, I think she was holding a book like that.
I think I need to take Aemilia and control her to one side and kind of say, what are we going to do with this fella? You know, it's not like we've got a fortress of solitude we can lock him in.
Well, if we believe what he's saying, it seems like. Oh. No, I'll wait for Stephen to come back before I finish the sentence. Means I don't want to close this window.
Why always with the technical difficulties?
Oh, it happens. Technical difficulties, blinding headaches, it all happens.
But it didn't look like he was having trouble unless we weren't coming through clear and to him.
It's probably something on his end.
Was it last night we were playing a game and the dog pulled the router out of the GM's PC.
This is a further example of pets and games don't work.
No, they really don't. Well, while we're here, Alan, do you mind if I ask what are you running for Gauntlet Con?
I'm running. I've forgotten. No, I'm not. I haven't forgotten. I'm running a session of Knights Black Operators. Thankfully, not against the official Pelgrane Knights Black Agent session.
That would have been really unfortunate.
As Robert Rouet said to me, you know, that so many vampires, so little time. I'm running 2 sessions of Actum Thulu Dark and 1 session of Jotunweird. What about you?
I've only got 3 things. I'm running a session of Interstitial. It's a PBTA game. It's an anime PBTA game about friendship and the power of friendship. It's Kingdom Hearts. It's based on this video game called Kingdom Hearts, about different characters from different medias coming together. So people from Disney, people from Final Fantasy. It's fanfic crossover the PBTA game, basically. I'm running a one-shot of the Sprawl using a
Yes, I've noted that in my diary. That's on my list because I'm not playing opposite. I'm not running opposite you on that one.
Ooh, well, maybe I'll see you then. But yeah, one shot of that, and a one shot of Beam Saber, it's a Gundam mech RPG. Forge in the Dark. Rob's played it. So yeah, those are my 3 things. The rest I'm doing is just volunteer desk stuff and playing with others. Hopefully with yourself.
Yeah, I because I think the 2 after here we go. The 2 afternoons, the Saturday afternoon and the Sunday night, I think I'm free to play. So fingers crossed.
Here's hoping. Rob, you running anything for Gauntlet Con?
Not this year. I only just started running again, so I think I'll wait until I've had a year of getting back into things.
That's fair.
I'm back. Sorry about that.
Oh, that's okay.
Okay.
That's fine. Welcome back. All right, so what was the sentence I was going to say? Oh, yeah. So, but if we take what he's saying at face value, it doesn't seem like, well, it seems like he was put up to do what he was doing. So,
the question is, because I'll be honest with you, I'm inclined to just let him go. Because he's not an entirely innocent party, but he didn't actually hurt anybody, and we could just give him a good ticking off and send him on his way.
I mean, are you going to continue scaring people out of their houses if we untie you now.
Oh, I mean, I haven't had any orders to the contrary.
Well, what if when you get orders, why don't you like give us a heads up? You know, doesn't seem like this woman doesn't seem like the type who should be giving you orders anyway.
Rob, I mean, this you may consider this be pushing the power a bit far, but I'm just wondering, you know, could Marcus actually auto-suggest into him a compulsion not to do that here?
I don't think that's how your power works. Let me just check the wording.
What I'm thinking is that when I use the jaw of 6 with normal, it is just, you know, convincing, very convincing. I'm wondering if I combine jaw with super, whether that actually turns the notch up in terms of effect, but is more difficult to do because super's one.
I will say you could try, but because you are going up against a pre-existing compulsion, I'd have to set the difficulty a bit higher. And intention would be in effect.
That seems fair. And I you know, and just so I'm aware of the risk, tension hits spark.
Yes.
And how many spark does tension often hit? It's the number of ones you roll.
It's the number of ones you roll up to the level of difficulty. In this case it would be difficulty 5.
Yeah, I think that risk is high for Marcus, given his spark is only 2. So I'm wondering whether we could leave him here while I recharge the batteries.
Well, yeah, you could do that. But while you're having this conversation, you do hear from like out, you know, towards the front of the shop, Stan's voice. Is it Aemilia? Yeah. And you hear him starting to move. You hear the footsteps as he's coming towards the door.
Yeah, I kind of like I kind of open the door a crack and step sideways out and close it behind me. I'm doing the I'm looking through the inventory again, just like you asked.
Is the advanced copy of the Storm Pack Adventures there?
Yes, I was actually just checking on those, and I smile at him.
Yeah, we'll get them ready to be packed up and taken back to Lightning Corp. They're recalling the issues.
Oh dear. Well, do you need someone to deliver it?
If you would, please.
Great, I'll get right on that. And I open the door a crack again, step sideways in, close it behind me. So it appears that someone at Lightning Corp doesn't exactly want these issues circulating anymore.
Well, that's too bad. And I think I'm gonna take one of the comic books and like I'm not gonna take it with me because I think they'll probably do inventory of like how much is popped or whatnot. So what I'm gonna do is my eye transmogrifies to like a camera. I'm gonna start like taking pictures of each page.
That always freaks me out.
That sounds like probably a trivial roll, but I'll make you roll for it nonetheless.
Might as well. It's I'll be with head, probably in the most literal sense.
Yeah.
Being super and I'm using my body mod. 3, 6, 7. That's fine. It's taking a while to spin. Okay. All right, that's 4.
Okay.
Well, it's trivial anyway, so.
So you didn't get any oofs in that.
Oh dear, I got 2.
It's okay, you're fine. Right. So yeah, you take your photos. What are you going to do with them now?
Well, sounds like Lightning Corp has something they don't want to get out. Well, simplest thing to do will be to like send it out. But we probably should figure out what to do with him. And looks at Ghost Heart.
Is anybody else wondering why they're recalling it? Do we think that the Storm Pack was supposed to turn? Well, they did turn up at the house and then get plenty of press, pre-publicity of Ghost Pack, catches Ghost Heart in haunting scandal just before the comic comes out, or am I just reading too much into that?
No, you're absolutely not. This is how our line of business works. Imagine an outlandish scenario, like say this quote-unquote villain here has been compelled to attack certain houses, therefore giving an opportunity for our corporate-sponsored team to bust him and get themselves quite a lot of publicity and notoriety. Imagine a scenario like that. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if a scenario like that is true.
And you've got these boxes of comic books just waiting to press the newsstands. How convenient.
Amazing, really.
So he's more and more, I see he's a bit of a victim in this, folks.
Yeah, Ghost Heart. Why do you do what you're doing? Being on the other side.
To maintain the balance between the mortal world and the spirit world.
I think I turned to like Marcus. It's like, that sound like what he was doing when you all met him?
No, he was. But I think there's a difference between what he normally does and what he's been compelled to do. He's been compelled to create publicity for this team. And do you know what I'm thinking? That if that's the model they're following, then if we could find out what's in the next comic, we could get one ahead of this.
Yes, I was thinking something along those lines, that someone needs to deliver the issues, the recall issues, back to the company, and I thought that I could try to see how much I could find out on delivery.
Well, remember, we also have an invite for me to take some of the residents at the care home I work at around the factory. So I'm just wondering if we could find a way to have those two things happen at the same time, because that would create quite a bit of cover. 20 old folks, 10 of them are wheelchairs, 10 of them are on you know, those kind of walking frames, various care assistants. I've been thinking that you and you could come along as, you know, volunteer helpers, and then we just drop off the back of the tour and have a look around. My worry about sending you in there on your own, Aemilia, is you ain't got much cover.
I take your point. What's important? What's important, I suppose, is whether someone is simply finding these villains, or if they're in fact trying to make them whole cloth from the pages of these books.
Oh, going the other way. Right. Hadn't thought of that. But then, so what? You write a story about Stormpack confronting Ghost Heart on the other side. That means Ghost Heart exists. You conjure him out of the comic book. You put him to work. In which case, this becomes not a publicity stunt, but a way of creating villains to do your dirty work.
Yes.
And it's the dirty work that matters, not the publicity.
Exactly, which might be part of why they now are seeking to recall their books. This villain, and I kind of, well, my apologies, but this villain has been compromised, so now they can hardly release the issue without some suspicion falling back on them.
The only thing that doesn't fit with that is why send two members of Stormpack to the house, ostensibly to capture a villain they've created to drive more people out? Because having succeeded in House 1, he could just move on down the street. Whereas if they turn up, why would they turn up if not to kind of be seen marching him out of the house to the, you know, flashbulbs? That's the bit I'm not putting together yet.
Yeah, I suppose the question for me is whether they were there on behalf of the company or whether they were there by whether they were investigating there of their own what's the word? Their own investigations had brought them there.
Look, whichever way this crumbles, I think, you know, I need to get my head down. I'm exhausted. So, you know, can we leave him here and come back to this question tomorrow? Let's go and have some dinner or something, because I'm dead on my feet.
The worst that can happen is that Stan will be possessed, and I think that's an acceptable outcome.
Because
rather no possession happen, but okay.
No, indeed. But we must be getting towards the end of the working day, because I work mornings at the rest home. There was time for me to go to the factory, have quite an involved kind of convoluted conversation, come back to Granny Goodness, and then exercise people. Oh, you know, be exercised. So it must be near the end of the working day, mustn't it?
Yeah, I don't know what the end of the working day for American stores would be, but it's usually about 5:30, 6 o'clock over here.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, this is a small bookshop. You know, open evenings would be for special occasions, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So
It's getting towards closing time, yeah.
So why don't you tell Stan you've got something to do? You know, you're just finishing up, and you can watch the shop so he can go home.
Yes, that sounds like an idea. I'll yep. That's what Aemilia does.
Right.
Yeah, okay. Stan will ask about the recall that he just told you about. Like what you're doing about that.
Yes, I'm going to make the delivery tomorrow. I'll make the delivery first thing tomorrow.
I'll just make sure you get it done.
You can be certain of that.
Okay. I'll leave you in charge then.
So why don't we just send out for pizza?
Have a kidnap victim pizza party.
Well, you know, he gets some pizza. We can, you know, have some pizza in the shop and just, you know, talk this over. You know, in a civilized way. You know, I'm in a bookstore room with a guy chained to a radiator. It's no place to have a sensible conversation.
Ghost Heart, is there anything you like on your pizza?
I'm not familiar with pizza.
Well, prepare for a lesson tonight.
You never had pizza, son?
Oh, here we go.
I don't
Who's
usually
never had pizza?
I don't usually live in the physical plane, so I've never had to deal with hunger.
Sorry, son, I misunderstood. You'll enjoy it.
He looks skeptical.
Now, I'll be honest with you, what I'm angling for here is what in the rules are called a bonding scene.
Figured.
Because, you know, control is fine. But Marcus and Aemilia, God, we need some bonding.
No, I get that. I get where you're going.
So over pizza, I think, you know, taking post-it notes out of Stan's desk, and we're kind of sort of, so, you know, so you could have a comic book, okay, and then that leads to the creation of a villain, and that leads to, you know, haunting houses, or you have an existing villain that's captured into that they then comicize, and that turns into a PR exercise. So there, you know, there are two hypotheses here.
Yeah, and then just off to the side, there's like a bunch of post-its that form a kind of pizza Venn diagram of toppings. Working out what's acceptable on the pizza.
And then I don't know about you two, but I'm not up for any kind of trip around the neighborhood tonight. I need to be at the rest home for like 8 in the morning.
No, I understand. You've had a long day. Well, it sounds like the two of you have had a long day.
Okay.
And are we agreed then that tomorrow I'll turn up at the factory with a load of old people? Older people. And Aemilia will turn up with the comic books. And we'll get into the factory and just find the evidence we need.
I think, hold on, let me look at the neighborhood map. Yeah, okay, that would make sense. Okay, yeah, control nods. That sounds like a. Hold on, let me. I think she looks at her schedule. Well, let's say she looks more. She looks at the. She looks up at the ceiling as if like accessing something in her mind, and it's like, ah, shit. I've got lunch tomorrow. I have a very important lunch tomorrow.
Well, we'll be there for 9:30. We'll just run a couple of minibuses from the care home.
And it should take only an hour or two to thwart a wide-reaching criminal conspiracy.
I'm going to hold you to that.
And then what I think I see is that and then there's that kind of, so everything's sorted out, and then Marcus will say, it was hilarious when Granny suggested the shoebox and you kind of went with it, Aemilia. I was just kind of that, and there's this. So as having made the decision, we're all leaving. It will then take us 40 minutes to leave while Aemilia and I relive the day for Controller.
I was just terribly confused, and it's mildly glad she wasn't there to have to go through all that.
Yeah, if you weren't there, it was like the old days.
Yeah, I was very surprised when you got all that ectoplasm to pour out of you.
Yeah, they just thought it poured out of me.
I will say, if I was there and it was like the old days, like we wouldn't have even bothered with a cardboard box. Like we would have had an actual working ectoplasmic machine.
Yeah, and that's why we called you this morning, because earlier on, because we missed you, Morgan.
Yeah, look, I told you what was up. I'm sorry. I think she kind of like flexed her hands, like there's just some things you have to deal with.
But you are in on all of this, aren't you? We're not getting in the way of other plans you have.
No, you're not. No, I'm being part of this group has been good, as much as I pretend otherwise. No, you're not getting in the way. It's just
because you got a shot at the big time, Morgan. You could make a comeback.
No, I'd rather keep to the ground these days. Like this, like I don't know. It can't be like it was. I think that time has passed.
Well, if it ever feels like we're slowing you down, you would say something, wouldn't you?
Of course I would. And you'll never hear it because the idea that any of you slowing me down is ludicrous.
Well, that's good to know. See you tomorrow at the bottling plant.
Yeah. All right. So I feel like everybody was kind of involved in that bonding scene. So I'm going to give you all free spark.
Even me?
Yeah, even you.
Well, I should really be using the spark to help everyone out then.
Never forget, I know you can also use heart to recover spark, and I forget how you do that.
Charity work.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's charity work, there's patrolling the neighborhood, and then there's the bonding scenes.
Okay.
So it's around when you're winding up that you hear a sort of coming out of one of the pockets in Ghost Heart's jacket.
He doesn't know pizza but he has a mobile phone. I don't need that in the other world.
Yeah. And I thought his opinions on pepperonis was the biggest travesty he laid on us, but now this.
Do your stuff with the phone controller.
All right. Is Ghost Heart still awake?
Yeah, he's just, munching on the last of his slice that you gave him.
Ghost Heart, you don't mind?
By all means. I don't even know how to work the damn thing.
I think, yeah, I'll reach in and take the phone, and part of me wants to answer it, but that doesn't seem it seems like what I do, but I think what I'm doing, I think my fingers kind of start sliding into the phone as if to connect to it, so I'm gonna answer it, but in the middle of it, I'm gonna try to trace the call.
Okay. Give me a roll for that. Yeah. Difficulty. Let's say 4.
Okay. So let's see. I'm definitely being super. Tools, which is not my best one, but this is kind of what I'm.
You're kind of using the phone.
Yeah. Okay. So 3, 4. Am I being strategical about this? No.
I mean,
no. That has to do with more with a fight and coordinating group.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes more sense. Okay. So when I got perception, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna spend that 3 spark I just got because I'm rolling with it. No, I only spent 2 because we have a bottle plant to go to. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. 7 dice. 7. Reroll. Damn, that's a 3, and I got 1 oof.
Okay.
Could we lower the difficulty if we kept somebody on the line for longer?
The roll's been made, unfortunately. So.
Shit.
So what happens is you start the call, and you hear just a few words over the come out from the phone. You may return now. They're spoken loud enough that everybody in the room can hear, and you see Ghost Heart start to shake in his chair.
Someone knock him out, please. I know we don't have Grandma here, but
Aemilia just knocks him over the head.
He just fades away.
That has rarely happened when I hit someone over the head. Rarely.
So
he doesn't fade away nicely. He fades away with He fades away with a sort of scream like he's falling.
Oh shit! And I assume like the phone in my hand does the thing when I fiddle with it. It's broken now.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Does that help work out which of our hypotheses is more likely? If I'm thinking if they're pulping copies of this comic book, then does that mean he ceases to exist? Or was the compulsion keeping him here, and now those code words or whatever released him the compulsion? which is the other hypothesis.
I mean, if he exists, if he existed independent of the fiction, surely having him return would not be that great of a cover-up, since someone else, presumably someone with more knowledge of how to summon spirits than myself, would just simply be able to summon him again, correct?
I think he was recalled so that we don't have him anymore.
Perhaps.
However we come at it, I still don't think we can sort between those hypotheses. That's what the bottling plant will answer all our questions.
Yeah, look. Two had a long day. Let's all get some rest.
I'm just imagining that in the comic book, the bottling plant will answer all our questions is just somehow your character's catchphrase. It's worked into every single plot line.
It's not always a bottling plant. Why is it always a bottling plant?
So what are you gonna do? Like, you're gonna try and do something to figure out what happened, or are you just gonna go with your plan?
I don't know how to work out what happened. Any suggestions?
Yeah, I'm not magic. I don't. I did what I could.
I mean, Aemilia, how long would it take you to build a portal to the other side? Because
Steven?
if we got to the other side and he wasn't there, that would answer our question, wouldn't it?
It would. Of course, we would be in the realm of the dead, where I imagine we would be a bit unwelcome. If you wanted to go that route, I'm sure I could take a week or two to dummy something up.
No, I need to go to bed.
It's probably better to get a bit of a rest before venturing into the afterlife.
Yeah, we have a bottling plant to go to.
Okay. So morning comes round, and we'll go to Marcus first. So you're at the care home. You're getting everybody ready to go on the bus. The bus is due to arrive any minute now, and there's a someone rings in at the entrance. So the care home gets regular deliveries of books that are being lent to them from the library as part of a program to help give the folks access to books who might not necessarily be able to go to the library on their own. And it's usually the librarian from the what did we call it again? There was a library, wasn't there?
Anna Lowell.
Yeah, the Anna Lowell library that comes and just delivers those in person. And she's
That's Sarah Ward, isn't it?
Yeah, Sarah Ward. She's she's got sort of sad brown eyes and curly brown hair tied loosely at her back. She's usually wears a navy blue overcoat and some business casual clothes. And apparently nobody told her that, this was all planned in a bit of a rush. So apparently nobody told her to maybe not bring the delivery today.
Sarah, why don't you come with us?
Where are you going?
We've organised a tour of the bottling plant for the old folks.
I don't.
It'll be fascinating.
I mean, I got a lot of work to do.
Okay, I just wondered.
Can somebody sign for these, and I can get them? Or
yeah, just to understand. Does she deliver this week's books and take away last week's books?
Yeah.
Oh, so she doesn't spend the morning running a library.
It's not like that. It's she'll take back books that are due to be returned, basically, and she'll deliver books that have been requested.
Okay. Well, we can, we can help her with that. It won't take 10 minutes.
Okay. So, Aemilia, you show up with your delivery.
Yeah.
There's usually like they take them in a sort of back office area, so you're allowed to come in to the reception, and then they get somebody to take the boxes from you and move them back through to the back room.
I kind of look and say, well, I was told I really shouldn't drop these off unless I got, one of your higher ups to sign off on this. It's one of those my company is a bit of a stickler about paperwork.
Well, we can get somebody from management to come down and sign off on it.
That would be wonderful.
Okay. Well, you'll just have to wait for a little while then.
If I must.
All right. So they've done the in real life version of putting you on hold. So you're gonna have to wait until someone comes down to deal with you. But I think that's exactly what you want anyway. And finally, Morgan, you're waiting a little bit longer than you were expecting to be waiting. It's maybe about 10 minutes behind schedule.
Oh, God.
They're old people. That's on time.
Yeah, well, we're on the clock. So I'll just wait. I'll wait it out.
Yeah, and maybe about 5 or 10 more minutes later, the bus finally arrives.
Yeah, and I think where it is, Morgan's made herself look older than she pretends to be. Closer to what her actual age is. Like, her hair is much whiter. Like,
and as we pull in and see Morgan waiting, I'll get off the bus and say, no, stay on the bus for a minute. And say, well, where's Aemilia?
She went to do her delivery, right?
Well, I've got this. I think we need to give her as much distraction as possible. So get on the bus.
Okay, all right, okay.
And then I'll tap the driver on the shoulder and say, "We need to go around the back. That's where the tour's starting."
Wow.
And then at the loading bay,
Okay.
the guys who are in the vicinity see 20 old folks and and 15 care home assistants, one of whom is me and one of whom is Morgan, shuffling up the loading bay, with me in front saying, "We're here for the tour."
Yeah, and one of them, is intercepts you. It intercepts your bus as it comes to a stop, and is like waiting outside the door. You can't park here.
Oh no, we won't be here long. Once we're inside, the bus will go and park around the front. It's all arranged. It's all arranged.
Usually go through the front entrance. This is the service entrance. You can't come in this way.
Meanwhile, of course, I'm off the bus having this conversation, and everybody else is getting off the bus, come what may.
Yeah, Morgan's shepherding the ball
so for this distraction, give me a roll for your. The difficulty is free.
So this is this Morgan's distraction or my talking?
You're talking. Morgan can be helping. So
okay. So this is being normal. This is again being normal, using jaw. So that's 10. Yeah, that's 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's the 6 on the left and all along the bottom row. It's only the 5 and the 6 in the middle I'm ignoring. Or can I use one of those for the help? I can't. I don't know how help works.
Yeah, you would spend a spark to land the dice, basically.
Okay. You prepared to spend a spark, controller?
Yeah. I'll give you one spark.
Yeah. Okay. So all but the 6 that is already sitting there get re-rolled. Okay. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes. And by this time, I think that I'm having this conversation with him, and slowly the living dead are moving past me and him to the entrance to the loading bay.
No, you can't. Not. It's you have to go around the front.
and in the ensuing confusion, I'd like to cut to Aemilia.
Yep.
So I think I've gotten a little bit lost as to what our plan was here.
Well, I think we were trying to work out whether they've got other comics prepared or anything else. In a little while, we'll go around the front and do it properly. But right now, you're in position. Just start opening filing cabinets.
Okay, yeah.
Comics,
Okay. In that case, yeah. Aemilia as the security guard is trying to deal with this crowd of people. Aemilia just starts going through some of the boxes and files that they have loaded out here. Totally not suspicious. Totally not.
Okay.
You can be as suspicious as you like. Nobody's looking at you.
So I think I'm going to call a break there as the security is distracted by the commotion going around the back, and Aemilia is trying to get a sneak look at the next issue. So
Rooting through their boxes like a raccoon. You can call it what it is.
all right, so we'll call a break there. Come back about on the hour.
Yep.
Could we get 5 past? I need to make a cup of tea.
Sure. See you in a bit.
So where are you in your apparent effort to run masks every week for the rest of your life, Leandro?
Well, I took a break in August. But yeah, we're back in Prospect Academy. Oh, Jesus Christ.
With
Yeah.
same players or a whole new set?
The only characters returned from previous Prospect Academy is Regicide. But Sabine is back with a different character. Well, with Serenade. You know Serenade. In school, the first thing they did was punch a Dread Knight in the middle of a hallway, because Regicide's mom sent along like, "Hey, here's a knight for as a present." Poor
Well,
knight.
I must. Now we can get all of this as a podcast. I must catch up in the car.
Oh, please do. I have plans to, because it's coming up to a year. I think December is going to be the big finale. I think I'm just going to like. It's good to have an ending. Just what I thought. So, unless I change my mind, Prospect City is going to end in December. Probably going to go back to the Spiderweb playset, finish that off.
Sorry, Rob. We were gossiping.
That's okay. Is Stephen back?
Yeah, I'm back.
Cool. Okay, so you're rooting through these boxes of advanced copies, and you do find what's going to be the next storyline. It says Vox Walks, team fractured as Vox goes wild. And flicking through it basically seems like they are writing Vox out of the writing Vox out of the Storm Pack as a team member, possibly setting up for them to turn villain.
Vox is that one in the first session that we all collectively nearly made cry, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I think we should congratulate Leandro and that they were the one person who did not take part in that group shaming.
See, I was doing my job. I was looking at the mysterious pit and whatnot.
So yeah, it does seem like the comic book is either reacting or anticipating events that the Storm Pack have actually dealt with. With a little bit of artistic license.
But just there is reacting or anticipating. Those are our two hypotheses. Does this help us sort between them?
Unfortunately not.
Snap a slip copy into my jacket. You haven't seen it yet. You don't know what's on it. You can't say damn yet.
And I think yeah, well, we'll just cause a big distraction and hopefully buy Aemilia time to do a bit of snooping and then say, oh, I see the front entrance. Come on, folks, back on the bus.
Yeah, okay, so you get
it'll take us 30 minutes to get them all back on the bus.
Oh, yeah. Oh, dear. Yeah, okay, so you're providing a distraction with that.
Yeah, I'll just say, I can help with this. Just make certain they sign, okay?
Okay. And Morgan, are you sticking with the party, or are you going to try and do something?
I think for now I'm sticking with Marcus because I'm meant to be like helping him in this, but like no, it's not cutting. I don't think it's cutting close yet. We start at 9:30. It's another 30 minutes. It's fine. Yeah, sticking to Marcus. But I think I kind of sidle up next to him and just say, how long do you think we can keep this up?
Well, I want to get in the front now, and we'll go along with the proper tour. And then what I'm hoping is to get you close enough to one of these computer doodads for you to do what you do.
I do a lot of things, Marcus. I'm surprised you haven't.
Yeah, but you know the old fingers in the machine thing.
It's the process is had more sophisticated than fingers in the. Okay, I'll take your point. All right, let's go.
And so to the front reception, where hi there, young man or young lady behind the desk today.
Young lady.
Well, hi, young lady. I'm here with the tour. I arranged it yesterday with what was her name? What was that nice lady's name? Nice lady, Miss Lockwood. Miss Lockwood. So we're expected for the tour.
Yes, we've known you were coming.
Yeah, sorry we're late. There was some confusion with the driver.
I understand. If you just give me a second, your tour guide is just right over there, and gestures somebody over, and so. Which one of the two heroes? I say heroes. Which one of the two heroes that you met the other day is being assigned to tour duty here?
I think I only remember Prospero. Mm-hmm. Who was the other one?
Prospero and Minos.
Yeah. It has to be Minos. Yeah, because I seem to remember that Minos was not difficult to convince.
Okay. So Minos comes forward to greet the tour party and says, "Hello, everybody. I've been asked to give you a tour of the facility here as a one of the representatives of the Lightning Beverage Company."
And I kind of, isn't that wonderful, ladies and gentlemen? And there's kind of desultory applause.
Don't I know you?
Yeah, we met yesterday. It's such a pleasure to meet you again, young woman.
Oh, your local man.
Sorry, was Aemilia saying that, or?
No, I think somebody in the crowd just kind of says that.
Yeah, you were the guy that got possessed.
Well, turned out to be just really poor indigestion, I think, son. The young woman.
God, give me a roll. The difficulty is going to be 5 because it's a little bit of too much of a coincidence.
So I think that's the usual normal plus jaw plus con artist is 10. So the usual 10 dice.
I'll lend you another spark.
So the same 11 dice.
Okay, what are you doing to help?
I think I'm trying to look as professional as possible. Just kind of stand next to him, being like, "No, we come as a unit. We work for this care community." And then I'm trying to make the image look more sellable, I guess, or it's more.
You're backing his you're backing his play basically.
Yeah, I'm giving him a half-hearted thumbs up behind his back, as he's talking to Minos.
Yeah, because I think actually, everyone had a bit of a dicky tummy yesterday. Lunch was a little bit shaky.
Yeah, I'm making the facial gestures, so like.
Okay, hang on. I've lost selection. Let me go back and do that again. There we go. Okay. And there's 11, and then roll selected. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay. Well, I'm glad to see that you're doing better now. We're a little behind schedule as is, so let's just get on with the tour. And they start showing you. They take you first basically to where all the ingredients are like transferred to the vats and basically poured in with precise measurements, make sure that they've got the right mixture, and basically they give you the tour. They show you the stuff getting put on the conveyor, getting whisked around the factory towards to the sort of carousel where it's all poured in.
I'm interested in using head to work out if anything suspicious is going into these drinks.
You can certainly try.
So I think that's I'm not using any superpowers. This is just normal plus head. So that's only the 6 left-hand dice. Okay, let's see. That's only 1 success, I have to say. So it all looks fine to me.
Yeah, looks legit.
Presumably, they're then going to give us, they're going to take us somewhere else. Or are there computers operating this plant? Is there a chance?
There are computers, but they're like specifically, there's control panels basically that are specifically for the machinery that's there. They're not like computers for the in the traditional sense.
Yeah, they wouldn't contain information. They're just like they're used to work these machines.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, is Aemilia part of the group now? Because that was the plan, that we'd all end up going well.
Okay. So now that you're all on this tour, what are you going to do?
Well, go on.
Yeah, I'm waiting until we get we get brought to some offices or something. Like, here is where we assemble the boxes. No, that's not where they do that. No, just like the more administrative areas until I get a chance, and then I'll think Morgan's gonna take the chance to slip away.
Yeah, so it is getting pretty. You're cutting it pretty close to the lunch appointment.
Yeah, but I'm here. I know what I'm meant to do.
Okay.
Yeah, no, he'll be fine. He'll be fine.
How is your relationship with your daughter usually?
I don't approve of how my ex-wife has brought her up, or how now she's. I get the feel. No, not get a feeling. I know that my ex-wife has press ganged our daughter into this nonsense, into this reality TV superhero bullshit, and I know that it's mostly. We've not had much contact. Well, me and my daughter, in a while. I think there's a part of upgrade that kind of resents Morgan not having been around because of the whole techno-organic virus, having to deal with that sort of thing. So that's why Morgan's been gone for most of her life. So this luncheon is kind of like unprecedented, I guess. I think it's her who made the contact, not Morgan.
Yeah.
So like, I don't even know if Upgrade knows. And I need. We gave her a name, but I've already forgotten what the name is.
I've got the. I'm pretty sure I put her name in the character keeper.
No, it is just Upgrade.
Ah, right. Well, you did. I'm sure you gave her a name. I'll look it up later. But
Yeah.
Does she have a pet name in the meantime?
Izzy. Her pet name's Izzy. I think that's. I don't know if it's the name we gave her 2 weeks ago, but I'll just decide now. Yeah, her pet name's Izzy.
okay. So you. So what are you doing in this moment?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna try and sneak away.
Okay. Anybody else?
I'll certainly be asking Minos. Just some of the old folks may need to take a trip to the the ladies' or gentlemen's room. So but don't worry about that for now. It's fine. And in that moment, I will donate a spark to Morgan's role.
Yeah. So give me a roll to sneak away.
Yeah. And I think what I'm doing as I'm sneaking away, I'm kind of like I'm reforming my body again to look more like one of the workers around here, like wearing the uniform and whatnot. This is my excuse to try and be super. And this is with feet, would you say? Or
I don't know. If you're using your power to change your appearance,
I mean that just means I was gonna add my powers, but
What about head?
Yeah,
it's actually kind of thinking out stuff, isn't it?
Yeah. To get the look, to basically visualize the appearance you want and make it convincing.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. So yeah, I'll use head 3, 6, 7. I'll spend a spark 8, and I'm getting another spark 9. All right, let me just generate one more die, and then roll that 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. What's the difficulty? Oh, I already rolled, but
So the difficulty here will be, let's say 3.
all right, cool. I got a 5, but I rolled. Is there a tension? Is there tension?
Tension probably in effect because you're using your powers a little bit.
Yeah, okay, cool. So that's one oof. Hey, we all have the same spark now. Oh, the mighty have fallen. I had 11 starting.
You get so you've sent you've set because your phone goes off.
Okay. Shit. I answer it as I'm kind of like trying to make it look like I'm just a worker here. I'm answering my phone.
Where are you?
This is her, right? Just out of character. Just be sure. Okay, just be sure. I'm busy. but I'll be there. I've got time.
You're not the only one who's busy.
Well, I know you've been busy, but I have to take care of some things. I'm not gonna miss today. We haven't had many days like this. Or chances, I guess.
I'm not going to wait forever. She hangs up. And that's your roof.
I think Morgan puts away, kind of like lets the phone kind of like dangle for a moment and just says, I know. To no one in particular. And then kind of like power walks, west wings her way to the rest of the factory. Try and find what she's looking for. It's just a computer, a proper computer.
All right. Aemilia, what are you doing in the meantime?
So let's see here. We're touring through the facility right now. I mean, I kind of feel like Aemilia would want to break away from the group at some point and start trying to sleuth around the place.
Okay. So yeah, you also would need to give me a stealth roll to slip away.
Okay. So let's see, this is probably normal feet.
Yeah.
Okay. So that gives me a total of 6.
Well, of course, I'm continuing to talk to Minos about how
Okay.
fascinating this is, young woman. So I'll spend another spark.
Okay, and I'll spend 1 as well to bring me up to 8. And let's see here if I just roll 3 ones and knock myself out here. Well, I rolled 2 ones and I get 1 success.
Yeah, so Minos is paying attention to you in that sort of young person way of, okay, sort of half listening but not really listening, and is catching sight of Aemilia trying to slip away. Excuse me, please don't wander off. There's a lot of machinery around here. It can be a bit hazardous. You've all been given hard hats as well. But
Oh, sorry. She's probably just looking for the toilet.
Oh yes. You have very poor signage in this facility, I noticed.
Look, look, young woman, where is the nearest toilet? Because I think maybe, we should all kind of stay here and just, I'll take 2 or 3 off, bring them back, take 2 or 3 off. Rather, I just want to avoid any, unpleasantness.
I'll get somebody to show you the way.
Oh, that's great. Thank you very much. And my objective here is simply to do that, but to take time, to buy time for Controller to do her thing.
Okay. So we cut back to Controller. You find a computer in one of the office. A sort of side office, maybe like a line manager's office. You you can try and access it.
I think what this looks like is that her finger forms into like a USB port. I don't know, USB connection. Alan's making a face and pointing at things. I don't know. I don't know what you're yelling about. But yeah, the finger thing. Yeah, I think that's how she's gonna connect to the computer and just start reaming through whatever data's in there. Start looking for anything suspicious.
All right, so that's definitely going to be a roll.
Mm-hmm. Is this with tools again?
Yeah, and you're using your power.
Yeah.
So
3,
2 for that.
5. What's the difficulty?
So for 4 successes, you'll get a clue to where you can find more information.
Okay, and anything above that, I'll probably just get it.
For 6 successes, you will also get a little bit of information on top of that.
Okay, let's see. 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna spend 2 spark. Put up to 7. That. Ooh, dancing close to the sun. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, hey, that's 5. Hey. Oh, thank Christ.
Okay, so you get some. Actually, what you tell me what you find in the system that lets you know that there is a secret sub basement in the building.
Ooh. I think it's one of those like I think she gets like an electrical grid of the place, and you can kind of see like where all the electricity feeds in all the rooms, but there is like a suspicious like blank spot just right there in the sub basement area, where it's just like, ooh, even though like it's clearly like a room that's surrounded by all other rooms, but for some reason there's like no electricity feeding in there. Either there isn't, or someone just blocked the room, or someone's trying to keep something there, someone's trying to hide something there.
Okay, so yeah, you figured out that there's that secret area in the basement.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna try and text that to the other two. I think the text is just here's what happens. Controller accidentally texts like the the data URL that she grabbed, so it's like a lot of random symbols that the two get, and then finally like, oops, sorry, secret sub basement room, and then directions. But I think, go ahead. I think apropos of probably like nothing, and probably looking at the time. Controller text. Should I go ahead?
I think that Marcus will text back, what about your lunch date?
There, you see typing, just those 3 dots, and then I think you see, I'm not leaving you two behind.
Get a message from Aemilia Price. Morgan, comma, line break. It is good hearing from you again. I approve of this course of action. Regards, Aemilia Price.
Okay, I see that. I'm actually cheered up seeing that, and I'm gonna head down to the basement.
Okay. So what are Marcus and Amelia doing in the meantime? Still buying time, or
I think we've bought as much time as we can, and I think Marcus is now feeling nervous that Morgan's gone off on her own, but he's not entirely certain what he can do. I think he'll as he's herding the group together, he'll get back to Aemilia and say, because Aemilia, are you back with the group now, or are you still off?
Yeah, I must be back with the group because I failed in sneaking away.
Yeah. I just thought we might come back. I don't know, under cover of darkness or something. It just seems a bit hairy. Morgan going off on her own. What do you think?
I mean, so your plan is to leave Morgan here then?
Well, that wasn't the plan, but that's the dilemma.
Now, what if we were to, I don't know, would like causing one of the wheels to fall off one of these wheelchairs we have with us cause enough of a distraction?
I don't know. I mean, do you think you can follow the instructions she sent us? The directions?
Oh, did she send us directions?
I thought so.
Oh, okay. That was out of character. I was just forgetting. I think I can, assuming that I can get away from Minos.
Okay, well, look, I think that I've got to get these folks back. We have to get them back, approximately lunchtime, because I didn't actually explain to the manager where we were going this morning. So, so
they just load it. They just load up a bunch of old folks onto a bus. Whatever.
Well, I mean, I can smooth that over when I get back, but I can't be gone much longer. So look, I'll do my best to kind of mob Minos with questions, and you just kind of see if you can track down Morgan and help.
Okay.
And so then, as the last three people come back from the toilet, I said to Minos, it's time we should, should be getting the folks home. Could you just take some questions, and I'll arrange the people in a way that he has to turn away from where Aemilia is. And then, and what was that question? Oh, Mrs. Donkins wants to know. And
Okay.
so on.
So yeah, give me a roll to distract again.
I'm hoping to avoid Aemilia having to do a stealth.
Yeah, Mrs. Dawkins wants to know if it's true that you put psychoactive drugs into your bottle, into your drinks. Oh, Mrs. Dawkins, but I think it's something that's very important for all of us to know.
So I think I'm going to roll 10 to set up the impromptu press conference. Yeah?
Yeah.
That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes.
Yeah, that'll do it.
He is putty in these old people's hands.
All right.
Well, young man, what about the psychoactive drugs?
I don't know where you heard anything like that, but we don't put psychoactive. Yeah, and basically it is answering the questions to the best of their ability. And
my work here is done.
Allowing Aemilia to slip off undetected
Go get him, Amelia Price.
All right, so you're heading for the sub-basement area as well.
Yeah.
So I think you both arrive there, and you see where the map indicated, this blank space that you expect to find something. Because you're looking for it, the difficulty to find the doorway into that area would be a 3.
Okay. And this is just looking, so it's not nothing terribly super about it. Let's see. Ooh, well. Yeah, no, okay. 3, 4. Just trying to figure out like how could I be super looking for this. Okay. I think here's how I kind of figure it out. Because again, I have that definitive machines. I know the electrical grid of this place, so I can just kind of like put my hand next to the walls and like feel the wiring and where the electricity flowing, and kind of map it to like the map I have in my head.
Okay. So the difficulty for that will be 3. The difficulty for doing it undetected will be 5.
Of course it is. I've got 7 dice. I don't want to spend any more spark. I could get knocked out here, so who knows? 7. Okay, cool. Away. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, I got a 5, but I got another oof. 1 oof. That's kind of
Okay.
close.
So you're reaching out with your machine senses. You see that there is an elevator behind this wall, and you're able to unlock the mechanism that that opens basically the fake wall to reveal the elevator inside, and also spoof the cameras that are inside the elevator so that you're not seen doing this.
Yeah, so Amelia's there with me now, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Aemilia arrives while you're doing that.
Oh, okay.
All right. You ready?
Let's see. Is there anything convenient to pick up in the area? Like just to swing at someone.
Probably a crowbar or something along those
Yeah,
lines.
I'll pick up that crowbar just to be on the safe side, and I nod.
Okay. I think Amelia, Morgan, our controller, like suits up, as in like turns all metally. And yeah, we take the elevator. Oh, this is not going to end well.
All right, so you take the elevator down, and it's not like in a movie where it's like, ooh, we're going down a long way. No, it's just a couple of levels. But the doors slide open, and a corridor lights up. And it's one of these sort of typical office, sort of sterile, bland looking corridors.
Lovely. Can we see what's on the other end?
There's actually a few doors in this corridor. There, and as you step out and investigate, one of them is PR and marketing story room. Writer's room. The other doors are marked alternative recruitment and security.
I think I'll nod towards the story room. That seems most pertinent to the questions we had.
Yeah, I'll press it.
Okay. So the door's locked.
Who?
Well, luckily, I brought along this crowbar with me.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to jimmy this open.
Okay, give me a roll. Difficulty will be 3. Because you already dealt with the security measures, Morgan, I'm not going to put tension in effect yet.
Okay, so I assume this is probably normal tool?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that gives me a total of 10 to roll with, which, considering I only... I'm down to 3. I'm down to 3, so I'm just going to roll with those 10. Despite how poorly everyone is rolling this session. I probably need to roll like 15 just to get those 3. I get 4. And luckily no tension is in effect because I rolled 3 ones.
All right. So there's a and the door just sort of swings open. So yeah, inside the room, you can see there's like a whiteboard up in one wall where, you know, people have put different ideas down. One of, you know, the most recent thing is Vox exit / turn. And it's basically just sort of putting some ideas down for how they can either write Vox out, or the most relevant, like the idea that has been circled kind of enthusiastically is heel turn.
I think as we're kind of looking at all this, my eyes turn to a camera again and it's taking pictures.
Yep. And there are like notes that have been taken of the meetings.
Thing is, I don't want to tip off that we've been there. So
I mean, I just opened the door with a crowbar.
Okay, that's true. That is true. You might as well.
I think if anything, we should just make a bigger mess of the place, just because they already know we've been here.
Yeah, actually, that makes sense.
Aemilia grabs some of the notes, and then just tosses the rest of the papers around the room.
Oh, before she does that, can I look around and see if there's anything about Izzy? Are there any plans for her?
So there's like there is sort of so I was just gonna go through what you find in these notes, and it's basically stuff along the lines of you're getting the sense that they have like plans of they have planned sort of the fights that the Storm Pack are going to have with villains in the future, but those plans are all, the scripts are all kind of one-sided. It's mostly on the villain side, what they are going to do, what the villains part is, and just how they can improvise around the Storm Pack. From what you're reading here, it doesn't seem like most of the Storm Pack is aware that this is going on. There is also some discussion about the plagiarist. And, get plagiarists to recruit from issue number dash dot, basically it's saying get the plagiarist to recruit this villain from issue whatever. And it's there's another from future issues, from advanced copies of issue X. And there are discussions later on after they're dealing with the Vox issue. They're trying to figure out what to do about Vox, because there was a PR sort of problem around them. They did a little bit of collateral damage in the park when they were supposed to be helping. So they need to basically somehow say this is not representative of us, and oh look, they're a bad guy now or whatever. And they're saying get plagiarists to copy from previous issue. No, not previous issue. Get plagiarists to make copy replace Fox. Cost of maybe cut down on cost with rest of team by doing same.
That doesn't bode well for your daughter, does it?
We need to go.
I mean, unless you wanted twins, but I don't know.
Yeah. I have enough to deal with right now. I don't think.
And there's also a question mark over park monster source.
Oh, Jesus.
Like, they don't know what that was about.
Yeah. All right. I think that's enough been going on. I think I'm kind of stuffing the relevant notes into something in my jacket. And I think I just say, all right, you're trashing this place. We need to go.
Yes, do you think we should write something on the walls, make them think that some of those adolescents, those teens did it?
You know what? I don't think they need that sort of grief. We can take it. Well, let's direct their ire at something anyway, away from the teens and maybe away from us. You've always been good at the theatrics. I'll leave that up to you.
Yeah, I think honestly I think probably what ends up getting written on the wall was the Grey Phantom strikes again.
Fair enough.
So you wipe the whiteboard basically, and
Yes.
Yeah.
And Marie that comes in later is like the Great Phantom. Do they strike before?
Oh, the Great Phantom. That sounds like an idea we could use.
Oh, Jesus.
You know they would.
Yeah, they would. Nothing they would repurpose for profit. Ugh. But yeah, we're going to book it after that.
Yeah. Don't even want to know what's in the other rooms.
I have a thing to go to.
Fair.
I feel like controller's probably worried about their daughter and the person we're collectively shaming.
Yeah. And we don't, I think the longer we spend here, we're going to be left behind by Marcus. So it'll be harder to get out.
Okay.
That's kind of like our time limit, so we're going to go.
All right. So, Marcus, you wind. You're basically leading your tour group back to the bus.
Yeah, I'm balancing the time pressure of getting them back for lunch against trying to string it out on the off chance that Morgan and Aemilia can join the end of the group again, having stumbled into the wrong toilet.
All right. So I don't think I'm going to make you roll to get back. I think we'll just have you guys leave and go about your business for the rest of the day.
So, do you want me to roll jaw for convincing? Did we ever name the manager of the care home? I don't think we did. Mrs. McPherson.
Yeah. So, you know what? I'm gonna let you sort of make this because you are a volunteer with this. So let's put that under charitable work, and you can make a roll to recover some spark.
Right. Now that has to do with heart, doesn't it?
Yep.
Roll be normal plus heart.
Let me just check that actually, because
page 35 I'm looking at.
Yeah, normal plus heart.
So that's 3 and 3 is 6. So I'll roll the 6 on the left-hand side of my large array of dice. I sent Rich a message saying thank you for letting me roll this many d6s. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 successes. What does that mean?
So the success, the difficulty for this would normally be 2. So I'm just gonna roll with that difficulty for it. Basically, well, I applaud the initiative, but I wish you would have let me know.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mrs. McPherson. They rang yesterday, and I took the call and assumed they'd cleared it with you. I just thought it was an opportunity, because you're always looking for ways to keep the old folks' lives interesting, aren't you? Winning smile.
Well, I suppose nobody was injured, and nothing went wrong on the trip, so we can just get them to retroactively fill in the consent forms.
Look, I tell you what I'll do. I'll do an extra shift this afternoon just to, help out. It's the least I can do, given I misunderstood stuff. All
right. Well, it looks like everybody seems to have had a good day out, at least. So, good job.
Thank you. Now I'm just reading. So So difficulty of 2. Success gains 1 point of spark. Fine. Failure, blah, 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 blah. Extra POWs gain more spark. I'm not entirely certain what a POW is.
Pows are successes. So when you roll an even, that's a pow.
Right. So I rolled 4. The difficulty is 2. So do I get 2 spark?
Yeah, you get. Let me just see. Yeah, the difficulty is 2, so you get 1 plus 2. So because you got a 4, so it's a free spark you get back.
Right. Thank you for that. I don't feel bad about giving the afternoon up now. But I suppose I will be I will be checking my my messages to try to assuage the slight worry that Aemilia and Morgan didn't get out.
Okay. So where exactly did you arrange to meet your daughter, Morgan?
Let me look at the map. I don't think it'll be. It might be at Granny's Goodness. Since that's kind of like the place to be.
So
and I think I specifically like maybe sent a message to wherever Grandma Superior is to like, no, don't make it seem like we know each other. I'm just here having lunch with my daughter.
Yeah, so your daughter is she's not in costume at the moment. I think her costume usually is sort of because the writers for this comic are apparently shite, is a very sort of generic inventor girl look with goggles and that sort of thing. Maybe a trench coat or something.
Of course.
But what does she look like normally?
I think she looks lovely.
Hey, come on, I like Girl Genius.
I think, yeah. She looks. I think she does look quite a bit. Actually, no, she's adopted, so she wouldn't look anything like Morgan. That'll be weird. I think they kind of. I don't think Morgan expected this, but they do kind of dress similarly-ish with like a scarf and a coat and whatnot.
Okay, I didn't know she was adopted. So did you not have like powers before? Were you just a really good gadgeteer?
Oh yeah, no, I was a really good gadgeteer. Like I didn't pass on any superpowers. I was just terribly smart. But having to reconfigure my mind around a techno virus addles up some things.
So when did that happen?
Let's see.
In relation to,
did it happen right before or after the divorce?
Ooh, I think divorce was gonna happen, but that virus kind of sped things up because, in some ways, superhero comics is basically like soap operas with punching, and what happens is the punching and the melodrama condenses 5 weeks of what would be a slow burn into like a week of drama. So I think having to deal with that virus and having to like basically, I think what happened with the virus is that Morgan kind of like went off and tried to do it on her own because she's a superhero. She's motherboard. She can do it by herself. She can suffer indignity, but that led to like breaking away from her wife. And I think that was around the time they had just adopted Izzy. So she maybe been like a year or a year old, or maybe less. No, yeah. Maybe they've adopted like a couple months ago. So maybe like half a year old. So I think while Izzy was growing up, Morgan's spending his time just dealing with the virus and not really giving time. Well, that because they were divorced, her and her wife at this point. So to Izzy, Morgan is just, she's legally her mom, but that's about it. And I think over the decade and a half, imagining maybe like 16 years. I think we went from 20 last session, but now it's say like 16, 17. That'd be around it. That'd be what Izzy's age would be. Morgan's just like a intermittent sort of figure.
So how do they refer to, okay, I know how to do this. But, okay, so yeah, you arrive just in time to see Izzy bursting out of the door of Granny's goodness. She is not so much angry as kind of she looks kind of worried, like frustrated.
Yeah, and I think I see. I think we're at probably like I was just about to go in, and she burst out, and gonna stop in track. I stopped in my tracks, and it's kind of like, "Hey."
Well, barely on time as usual.
I'm here.
Not Mom. She calls you Morgan.
That's what I thought. Well, I'm here, aren't I? Did you have lunch already?
I had lunch. I had, I had my free meats and yeah. It wasn't really. It was a business. This was a business is the wrong word. I needed to talk to somebody who doesn't work for them. Mom won't listen to me. I thought maybe you would at least give me some time.
I think Morgan kind of like just looks away for a moment, but then like looks back at Izzy and is like, well, I do have the time. I swear. I'm here now. Are you okay?
I'm gonna need you to roll with heart.
Oh, Jesus. Which is my worst. One of my worst stats. Yeah, I'm just gonna roll 2 dice. That's just what's gonna happen. I'm rolling 2 dice. This is so bad. I'm not gonna spend spark because I'm just gonna knock myself out. Oh, this is so bad.
Is there any possibility of her thinking of a flashback when Marcus said to her, just be yourself?
This is how you manipulate your daughter.
That's totally plausible.
And I would spend spark to do that.
Oh, you're a peach.
In fact, I will spend 2 spark to do that, if I'm allowed, because it is my area of super expertise.
So I think when it comes to helping,
Can I just do the 1?
Yeah, I think you can only give one unless you are So just give them just the one to give them an extra 1d to their pool. If you were to give more, basically you would be opening yourself up somehow to the same consequences. You'd also take oofs, but that doesn't make sense in this circumstance.
So just the one. That's 3 dice. The session has conspired to put me in this situation. Is there tension? Is there tension?
I feel like there's a lot of emotional tension here.
Yeah.
Because I have 1 success and 1 oof. That's what I got. So is there tension? Because I'll take it. Like I think I don't see a way that Morgan's gonna make an emotional breakthrough to Izzy, given that she's severely late.
I feel like I want to say no, there's no tension, but in this circumstance, yeah, there's definitely tension involved. So
yeah. So I think I ask if she's okay.
no, I'm not okay.
And I'd go to my real mom about that anyway.
Oof.
Do you think I'd be here if I was okay? The one time I needed you. This was a mistake. She walks away.
Yeah. Morgan doesn't have anything to say. Izzy's completely right. So I think she's just gonna. Well, she's down. So she's just gonna walk away and head home and not respond to anyone and just.
So you're down, but you're not out. You're not out.
Not out.
So you will be able to recover next session with a bonding scene.
Yeah.
Or that. I think. Let me just check. Yeah, when you're down, you're just not able to do anything super. So you could potentially just do some vigilante work or something to regain it.
That's a way to cool the head. Cool. Or let off some steam.
Finally, Aemilia. What calling card do you find back at your home that tells you Dr. Draconius is making his presence known?
I feel like almost. I'm really gonna just fuck with Amelia Price's life here, but I think probably something gets set on fire. Probably the apartment. This was our thing. Like usually something gets blown up to begin like an Amelia Price versus Dr. Draconius story. Yeah, I think that like the apartment gets torched, and like the smoke kind of is like weirdly like it's like one of those things you see in really old comics where somehow like the villain manages to get like the smoke to spell out like writing as it burns. And I think probably what happens is that Morgan gets a text eventually that says, "Dear Morgan, I find myself without a living space for the moment. Would you be willing to offer your abode for my use for the foreseeable future? Amelia regards, Amelia Price."
And you get a text back again, all caps. Sure.
All right. And that's where we'll leave it until next week. So
you'll be able to get your bonding scene next session, Morgan.
Yeah. So now that we've got to the end of the session, is everybody okay to do stars and wishes on the recording? Steven?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So let's start with Alan. Give us some stars.
Several. I thought you did a good job of delivering the wish from last time, which was to see the super and the mundane, bang. And I think setting up the time constraint for Morgan, and then, at a key point, the phone rings. And that then goes to the second star, which is for how Leandro handled the call. I thought that was really cool. And the other way, it's Amelia's use of the text. It's absolutely in a bottle, Aemilia Price. Yeah.
Steven?
Yeah, again, you had left before I got a chance to give you the star last time, Leandro. But again, for Morgan's hot mess of a life, for having us see more of that. That's always great to see. And oh man, I want to see Mrs. Dawkins just come back as a character somewhere in the next session. Just her and her crazed conspiracy theories. But yeah, I really enjoyed Faceman's managing of this crowd of old people throughout the entire session to accomplish like half the things he was trying to do. Yeah, and like I said, I also enjoyed seeing more of these two spheres, like Alan said, kind of colliding together. So yeah, cool.
Okay, and Leandro?
Yeah, stars versus everyone. It's just this was equally just highest of like just fun sort of shenanigans. Like again, the whole corralling of that tour, even like the weird bonding scene with the captured sort of villain there in the corner, teaching them what pizza is. So I love that this session felt really grounded down, into like a bit more the mundane stuff, like doing that tour and that ticking clock of that lunch date. I think Robert, you GM'd us really well into kind of like keeping things like tense and keeping things moving with like revelations and twists and whatnot. And again, yeah, Marcus just playing along with that, and Amelia's just being extra and bombastic like that. You wear the fucking Grey Phantom. Yeah, it's great. No, really, this has been the two spectrums of drama and fun. Not to say the drama isn't fun, but you get punched in the gut. So it hurts, but it's fun.
Yeah, and from myself, stars to everybody. Like just the way you all played off each other in scenes. Like I could, I enjoyed just letting you guys go and just talk in character, like for spans of time. Maybe I don't know. Should have cut them off a bit sooner, but maybe not. Like I enjoyed those interactions, and Alan, Marcus, just keeping the Minosi's attention with this tour group of old people. Just keep coming up with different ways to distract them, and use the situation to your advantage. Stephen, I just like the little quirks that you give Aemilia, like the way that she does the texts, and just putting in like little the gray, the Grey Phantom, like just as a sort of nod to your roots, so to speak, that sort of thing. And Leandro, like you brought, you're the one that said at the start, like, oh, I've got a dinner appointment with my daughter, and I was like, yeah, that's gonna be a great point of tension throughout the session. So just thank you for bringing that. I always like when players introduce things into the fiction themselves that they probably know is gonna lead somewhere difficult for them, but in an interesting way. So thank you for that. So wishes. Let's start with Leandro.
Oh damn. I wish I had wishes. Yeah, I think I just want to spend more time bonding with other PCs. I know it's the last session, so we have to like wrap it all up. I am curious to see how we do that. Like, I would like at least to know who this plagiarist is, and maybe save these poor kids, these teenagers, from having to work for this corporation. Yeah, I think that's what I just want to see. But these are wrap up to that. Like, I don't expect like a full ending for myself. I'm fine with if that scene with my daughter is the only one I get. But actually, I think the main thing I want is to just get a chance to like bond or hang out with their PCs, especially since I think definitely Aemilia and Morgan's gonna have one. But
oh yeah, I don't know. It's not really a wish, but I'm just looking forward to Aemilia and Morgan talking about toxic exes.
Oh man, I didn't know we had that in common. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, I think that's kind of it. Just I'm happy to see where we go.
Okay, so Stephen, I think was that your wish or?
Yeah, I think that's the main thing I'm looking forward to.
Okay, so Alan.
I think there is a slight risk of Marcus's relationship with the care home becoming slightly abusive, and so I think that because I think he did today rather exploit those old people, and so two things really. I would love to have a confrontation with the plagiarist, and I'd quite like to see the old people threatened. So Marcus has to kind of stop playing the fool and start worrying, because so far he's coasted through all of this on a cloud of waffle and bullshit, and I just think he needs to be called on that.
Yeah, so far I just picture you as like a character in like a rural British sitcom.
There is something to that, isn't it? You know, who always falls on his feet. Whatever happens, he always falls on his feet. And so I just think that he needs to realize that he's taking some risks with people.
Okay, so wishes for myself for next week. I think just try to figure out how to bring this mess of a story together that I've created with all your help, because it all comes from stuff that you gave me in session 1. So but yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how it goes.
Yeah, I think we all wish you luck with that, Rob.
Yeah. All right. So that's the end of the session for everybody. So we're just going to say goodbye to the people on YouTube. Goodbye, YouTube, and we'll see you next week.